Welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd switch things up and step away from the heavy philosophy for a minute to talk about something that affects all of us. I'm talking, of course, about relationships. Specifically, though, how Disney and the broader entertainment culture has quietly poisoned our expectations surrounding relationships. I'm a millennial, so when I was younger, it was Disney all the time. I grew up on those classic Disney stories. Some are a little different, but most go boy meets girl, instant chemistry, a minor obstacle appears, and guess what? True love conquers all. They live happily ever after with no effort once they meet. The hard part was finding one another, right? But judging by my own life and what I'm seeing out there in the dating market, that story might be one of the most toxic meta narratives that we've ever been fed as a society. It sells this idea that the right person will fix you, that love is something you receive rather than something that you build, and that once you find the one, everything just clicks into place. But this is just flat not how reality works. And here's what's at the core of the lie: relationships are not a solution to your personal problems. They are not therapy. They are not a magic fix for insecurity, unresolved trauma, or a lack of direction in life. If my experience is any indication of what actually works, the opposite is in fact true. You have to fix or at least make serious peace with yourself first. Until you do that, you're going to keep attracting the wrong people and bringing the wrong expectations into connections, and they will invariably blow up and leave you off worse than when you started. You see, one of the biggest hidden benefits of actually working on yourself is that it dramatically reduces desperation. When you start to meet your own core needs, the ones you subconsciously think some partner will magically fulfill, these needs like purpose, self respect, emotional regulation, and direction, you stop waiting for someone else to fill that void. You stop being half a person. You become far less needy, far less likely to settle, and far more able to walk away from connections that just ain't it. You see, if you work on yourself, you stop outsourcing your happiness and worth to a potential partner. Disney, rom coms, pop songs, social media content endlessly sells the fantasy that meeting some magical right person will complete you. In reality, if you're not already reasonably whole, you'll either scare good people away or latch onto somebody who can't carry your baggage. And this will happen over and over and over again. This dynamic and this repeated failure most people experience has created a widespread attitude of entitlement. People show up expecting the other person to heal their wounds, provide constant validation, and deliver fairy tale chemistry with minimal effort. And when that doesn't happen, invariably, they bail or they stay miserable or they get mad at the world. None of those things are making your life any better. You see, the truth is harsh, but far more useful. A relationship is not something that fixes you. It's something that requires time, energy, attention, and resources with no guarantee of payoff. Frankly, it's a job, and you better show up ready to work. If you want the real thing, the deep, lasting bond that Disney pretends comes for free and instantaneously, here's the practical path. First, do the internal work. You don't need to be perfect, nobody is. But you do need to stop outsourcing your healing and growth to a future partner or future circumstance. Build your own life. Do it now. Develop discipline, emotional maturity, and a sense of purpose. Become someone who has something real to offer instead of someone looking for someone to complete them. This doesn't mean you need to fit some mold of society of ideal success. I'm talking about become the best version of you by your own standard. Do the work you know you need to do. Second, look for somebody who has done or is actively doing that same work. If you're doing your work, though, you will likely start to only be attracted to others who are doing the same. And two people who are taking responsibility for their own lives have a real shot at building something strong, something real. That gold the Disney movies pretend you get overnight. Third step, when you find that person, treat the relationship as a serious investment, one that requires consistent effort. You have to show up with time, attention, honesty, forgiveness every single day. Chemistry is nice, but it's not enough. Real bonding happens through shared experiences, vulnerability, and the part that Disney always skips, weathering inevitable conflict. That's right, folks, the conflict is inevitable. There is no relationship without conflict or strife, period, full stop. Miscommunications, disagreements, rough patches, they're not bugs, they're features. Successful couples are not the ones who never fight. They're the ones who learn to manage the strife and the challenges and the fights in ways that actually strengthen the bond over time instead of eroding it. They see them as opportunities instead of landmines. That means repair attempts, accountability, and choosing to stay even when it's hard. That's the path. Lastly, if neither of you gives up, something real will slowly emerge over time. I call it the gold: deep trust, effortless companionship, genuine partnership. It does exist, but it only appears after years of mutual investment and not on the night of the ball when the clock strikes midnight. This isn't romantic nihilism, it's the opposite. I believe in deep, committed love. I just refuse to lie about what it actually costs and the steps you have to take to actually get there. This Disney style meta narrative, if we take a look at it, it isn't harmless. It serves certain interests: studios, streaming services, advertisers. They keep people chasing an impossible ideal instead of doing the hard, rewarding work of self development and realistic relationship building. It makes for good consumers, okay? But it doesn't make for happiness on your end. This approach, no wonder it doesn't work. It clashes with human nature. You see, we're not blank slates waiting for a soulmate to complete us. We are messy, evolved creatures with real psychological needs, status concerns, and different mating strategies amongst us. Pretending otherwise sets people up for repeated failure and resentment. We can see it everywhere. If you spend any amount of time in the dating market, I bet this video will resonate with you. The functional truth test from my postmodern lens is simple. Does the story we tell ourselves actually help us survive, thrive, and reduce unnecessary suffering in our lives? As a little bit of a sidebar, check out my video on this postmodern lens I'm applying here for more info about this. It's the last video I released on this channel. Working on putting links in the video. Maybe I'll have that done by the time this gets posted. Anyways, for most people, the answer for the meta narrative we're given, does it help me survive? Does it help me thrive? Does it reduce unnecessary suffering? Is clearly no. The meta narrative we're given by Disney and other pieces of the culture breeds entitlement, it breeds disappointment, and it breeds a victim mindset when things get difficult. The corrective here is to treat relationships with the same seriousness we approach our career, our health, or any other major life domain. Stop expecting to take from this domain and start expecting to invest in it. Only after time will you be able to receive from it. All right. It's an invest first, take later thing, not a lottery where you just get everything up front and don't have to do anything. It's absurd on its face if you really think about it, but this is what we were subconsciously sold. So here's my synthesis, and here's the middle path that I try to walk. Stay skeptical of the big romantic stories that we've been sold. Enjoy them for their entertainment value, but understand they're not realistic. Use a diagnostic lens to spot where they're selling comfort instead of truth. Then filter everything through what actually works in practice. So once again, fix yourself first, or at least stop waiting for somebody else to do it. Build a life you're proud of, and then look for a partner who's doing the same. Invest fully, expect strife, commit to working through it. That's how real bonds are forged. I'd love to hear from you all in the comments. Where have you seen these Disney style expectations crop up and sabotage relationships? I bet you don't have to look far. What's one practical step you've taken to fix yourself before expecting somebody else to carry that load? I know for me, it was going back to school, seeking promotions at my work instead of just being content to sit in purgatory. Anyways, guys, if you found this useful, if you value this kind of synthesis, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think, what you feel. I'm experimenting with different types of content. Obviously, I'm all over the place, so we're just going to see what you guys respond to. Anyways, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll talk again soon.